Welcome into episode number 7 of The Wolf Way. Tom Throp, Coach Justin Hilton here of the Westridge Wolves. Coach, sitting at 6-2 after 8 games, pretty solid start to a season.
Yeah, really, there's a couple plays you'd like to have back in a few other games and feel like maybe that number would be a little bit higher on the win column, but 6-2, put ourselves in position for the playoffs. Now we've got to continue to play well to work on seeding and try to get that home field spot.
Big win Friday night. Senior night, always a great night to recognize the accomplishments of a senior class. And we've talked quite a bit about this senior class, and we'll further do so today. But Friday night was a big win, solid victory for your team.
It was. Started out great. We had some parents of the underclassmen make some nice pictures and things for the senior parents and players, and on their own, they just came and did it, and just another awesome thing that kind of shows our culture, and we're appreciative of them. But honored those seniors who so deserve it, and then some of those seniors came out and had a pretty good night as well. So it was a good night all the way around at the Ridge.
Had an event take place, if you will, that Ethan Amix crossed a 1,000-yard plateau, first time ever for a Westridge Wolf running back. Tremendous season thus far for him.
Yeah, Friday night had 253 yards rushing on 20 carries. Didn't play the fourth quarter. Didn't play much of the third quarter. 3 touchdowns. Saw he was the 5-star in the Kingsport Times News. So great night for him. Put him over 1,000 yards. I think he's up to 1,100 now.
Right.
And again, I will tell you, if you ask him, he's gonna credit the offensive line and brag on those guys as he should. And they have done a phenomenal job up front.
Absolutely. Offensive line has done a great job. Quarterback's done a great job. The receivers have done a great job. Wingbacks, and he's done a great job. It is the culmination of what you're trying to do with this offense that you're running is to get that kind of attack, and Friday night showed it.
It did. If you just look, 400 yards rushing again, and you say that kind of, but 400 yards is a lot of yards in a football game, much less to get it on the ground. It's looking like we may finish this thing out with 2,000-yard rushers. Ethan already has 16 touchdowns. Justice has 12. But our offensive player of the week was Sam Burris, who was 5 for 5 with his extra points. We don't want to leave out the special team side of it and the scoring side of it, and he's done a phenomenal job on the year. He's hit 29 extra points this year. Things people take for granted and think are automatic, but as we've seen even this year, those kicks matter and getting it done matters, and it's been a great effort all the way around.
And again, talking about that culture from that position, you started with a different snapper. You had a different holder, possibly 2 different holders from where you are now, and first time ever playing football with Sam Burris.
We started out the spring with no kicker, and then we knew Evan was going to kick. He was going to kick off, and then Carter Hobbs and Samuel Burris came out, and all 3 of those guys are great. So now you've got Evan Manus holding, where Isaac had the surgery.
Right.
You've got Hayden Music snapping, where Jace hurt his collarbone, and you've got 3 capable kickers, and Samuel's done a great job with the extra points, and Carter with the field goals, and they pull for each other, and again, it's just awesome. It's great to see young men pulling for their teammates and wanting them to do well.
Part of that culture and character that you talk about all the time that is so important for success.
It is. I hope it carries over into life. That's some of the things as adults we need to figure out. Hey, if we can just pull together and do things, great things can happen.
Again, Friday night, a great thing, 35-0 victory, a conference win, as you said, puts you in the playoffs, and now you go forward to try to get other positioning in the playoffs. I want to talk a little bit about Friday night again, though. We talk, and all of us that think we know something about football, watch as pro teams can draft guys to fit what the coach wants to be and do, and colleges can recruit players that fit. With high school, you are geographically kind of controlled as to who's there, basically. People who live in the neighborhood get to come play for you. 5 years worth of Westridge football, and it's been different with what you've done. And not that, I don't know that any of the 5 years have been, this is the Justin Hilton offense, this is what I want to do, and this is the Justin Hilton defense of what I want to do. You have to adapt, and what a tremendous job of adapting from the Bergeron-led quarterbacking of year 1 to the Hilton-led quarterbacking of year 5.
Yeah, it's been Our assistant coaches have done a fantastic job of that. They evaluate the personnel and try to make it fit every single year. We've got some non-negotiables. We're going to run the football no matter what formation we're in. But last year we threw it a lot.
Yes.
And this year we run it a lot. And so we just try to play on our strengths and do what we feel is going to help us be successful. And the most important part of anything you're doing is buy-in from the kids. And that's happened, and assistant coaches who are willing to go learn and really, master their craft. And our guys did that. They went to Carson Newman to try to learn, and they've been to these places. And they do all these things because they want these kids to be successful. So my hat's off to them.
You go into Friday night, we go on the road. Last 2 games of the season, regular season, are on the road, and what happens in these games determine where we are for the playoffs. Science Hill, big rival, big name team, obviously. The team where I tore my knee up, so I don't like them very much. I'll say that with all honesty at the onset here. It's a very good football team. What do you expect from them offensively, and what do you want to do to stop them?
Offensively, I know what they're going to do. I mean, I coached with Coach Carter for years at South, and I could give you a backstory of all those coaches over there. A lot of South graduates on the staff over there.
Yes.
Ralph gave me my first high school job, then I coached with Stacy and Sam's over there as well. So offensively, they're going to spread it out. They're still going to try to run the football. They had a transfer quarterback come in from Wyoming who has a very strong arm, loves to throw intermediate routes. And they've got some good running backs in the backfield. So it's a balanced offense. It's a good offense. They've moved the ball on everybody they played. They were up 10-0 on Maryville in the first quarter last week.
Right.
It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge with all the athletes and speed that they can put out there on the field. But I say all that, our defense has played well. I feel like our defense can match up with them offensively in certain spaces, and then we're just going to have to be the best version of ourselves on that side of the ball. Defensively, they're a 3-4 team that likes to bring pressure. They will play man coverage. We expect to see a lot of man coverage in what we're doing. And physically, they're going to be one of the more talented teams in the defensive line that we've seen. Number 90 is a great defensive tackle. 74's rolled in there at nose man for Necessary, who got injured. So we expect to see a great defensive line, physical linebackers, and a very athletic secondary.
Anything, again, one of the things you and I talked about this earlier this week, that one of the things that I thought interesting that Morristown East had done was walking their linebacker up into the gap on one side or the other of the center to try to anticipate where you were going with the dive play. Do you see, and I won't call it, I will, do you see other gimmick type of things like that out of Science Hill, or do you anticipate things like that taking place?
They've brought pressure against everybody that they've played, and a lot of times it's edge pressures, but they will plug those linebackers up in there. I do expect to see the linebackers walk down in there. If you go back and watch our film from 2 years ago, they did a lot of those plugs with those linebackers. So we do expect to see that. It's kind of a trademark of Ralph's. He does that quite a bit and bring those A-gap pressures. So our guys just need to be ready. We've got to have our eyes up and be aware of our assignment, and we should be okay.
The Wolf way has been your way, and it has worked extremely well. And you touched a second ago on Justice being close to 1,000 yards as well. And we talked about the Offensive Player of the Week that was awarded Defensive Player of the Week. Dayton Brown had a huge game the other night. You had a bunch of guys with huge games tonight defensively. You're going to have to do it again this week.
We are secondary. We had 3 picks last Friday, and Braylon Funderburg played excellent at corner. They tried to isolate him, put him on the corner. He did a great job. And really our whole secondary did. Caleb Mabb and Braylon Vance had picks. JP at corner played well. And we rolled some other guys. Walsh was in there at corner.
Yes.
And you're going to see some other guys in the secondary. We're not going to leave anything on the table. We're going to play Amix on defense and Justice on defense and Icino on defense. We're going to play those guys. We've tried to rest them and do those things, and it's time to just go get it now. And they're excited about that challenge, and we're excited about it.
And again, you are in this situation right this minute. We're in the playoffs. We know that for sure. With the last 2 regular season games will determine seeding and if you get to play at home or you have to go on the road. And that's a huge scenario with the playoffs.
And that's all you can ask for as a football team. Do you control your own destiny as you move through the end of the season? And we do. So would we like to have the Dobbins-Bennett game back? Yes, we would. But we won the Morristown game to put us in there with 2 left to try to host a playoff game. and it's going to come down to if we execute and if we play well, if we can do that.
Up to you, plus you get a chance to let Dobyns Bennett also potentially help next week as well. If you're doing what you're doing, they can help you as well. So a strange bedfellow, so to speak, but interesting, the math works out that way. The Wolf Way, what is the Wolf Way Friday night for us to get a big win?
Well, the broken record comes out again. We can't turn the football over. We have got to value the football. We've got to control the line of scrimmage on both sides, limit explosive plays, and special teams will definitely be a factor in this football game. We have got to cover down well and not give up explosive returns on kickoffs and punts.
Coach, great job so far. We're having a great time. Crowds are coming out, and it's been wonderful to see the student section. The adults are there. The culture has spread to the community, obviously, and the folks appreciate the character of your team.
We appreciate the support that we get. Had a unique call just a few minutes ago. Mark Smith, my former head coach at Sullivan South, he called. He said, "I'm planning on being there," because a lot of these guys played for him that are on both staffs, and I think the world of him, and just excited for our community, excited for our opportunity.
We'll see you Friday night. We'll be at Science Hill with you, and looking for a big win. Congratulations so far, 6-2, and the Wolf Way has been successful. We'll keep it rolling, folks. Stay with us right here. We'll see you next week on the Wolf Way.